What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City of Z. Once again, I will be your tour guide today, and I hope you enjoy your stay. And today we are discussing the Black Ops 2 Zombies Origins storyline, specifically just the storyline regarding Origins. So, without further ado, let's jump on in. So basically, this takes place during World War I, and Group 935 was given the task to create new weaponry for the Central Powers to use to win the war. And as we know, Maxis created the Mauser, and he was working on creating other weapons as well. However, in December of 1917, Maxis and Richthofen, they were leading an archaeological excavation in the trenches, which is where Origins takes place, and they basically uncovered element 115. And now Maxis was really excited that he found this. He realized that 115 had crazy powers, time-altering powers, in fact, and they realized that they can use it to create these wonder weapons, which we see throughout all of Zombies. And this is the beginning of Zombies, so this is where they found the 115, apparently. So they start to mine 115 using the generators, and they create energy fields, and that explains those little pump stations. But as the excavation continued, more mysteries and other things were unearthed by 935, such as the mystery box, which further explained Maxis' theory of the time-altering effects of element 115, because if you can bring back all these weapons, they're through different time periods. That would explain why we get modern weaponry in the box. So that's a little interesting thing about the mystery box. But anyways, let's continue on. Richthofen was creating the 4 giant mechanical robots, and he was planning on giving them to German's army to use during battle, so then they could kind of annihilate everyone. But here's where things get interesting. Excuse me, I'm still sick, but eventually symptoms worsened, and Samantha began to communicate with Maxis. Maxis was experiencing all these paranoia and all these other issues, but Samantha actually starts to talk to him, which is a problem. Richthofen starts to be, he hates Samantha for kind of corrupting his friend, which was Maxis, and Maxis starts to pretty much go insane. That's the gist of it. While this is happening, our 3 other heroes all are selected, and they come over to learn about this project that the Germans are working on. And after that, this is what starts happening. The Germans observe all of these mysterious disappearances of their soldiers, their workers, and people start to fall ill, including Maxis himself. Now this is very interesting, because previously to Origins we thought that Maxis was killed by Richthofen, but that's actually a story for another day. But anyways, Maxis is pretty much going insane. Samantha's telling him that he's her future father, and he needs to get him out. He needs to get her out of the ether, or not the ether, wherever or Gotha. Sorry. And in order to do that, Maxis ends up breaking into the crazy place, finds the stones, finds the ancient carvings on the wall, and decides that you need to replicate these ancient staffs to help free Samantha. So Richthofen thinks this is insane and kind of doesn't really listen to it. Maxis ends up dying, and Richthofen cuts out his brain to preserve the brain so he could put it in a new physical form later. That is really how the storyline continues. So then our 4 heroes meet, put aside their country's allegiances, and decide to survive the zombie outbreak. And while they're fighting, Samantha contacts them from Argatha. Tank, Takio, and Nikolai agree to help. However, Richthofen really just wants to make that quad rotor using Maxis' brain, so Maxis could live temporarily without the body. So that's what Richthofen's goal is. He doesn't like Samantha, but eventually they're able to open the portal and beneath the ruins, and Maxis can meet his future daughter, and Samantha is freed from controlling the zombies. Richthofen, Tank, Takio, and Nikolai, they were all rewarded for their help. The zombie population was contained, and the war ended up ending. Now, the really interesting thing here is that Richthofen cuts out Maxis' brain, right? And then ends up putting it in a new and younger body later in the storyline. That's the key thing. So remember how we talk about how Richthofen kills Maxis? Yeah, that still happens. That's just later in the storyline. This is really early. They're still friends. They still like each other. And this is just Maxis' first body, because Richtofen ends up saving him, taking the brain and putting it in a new body. But that is basically the storyline for Origins. I thank you all for coming by today. I hope I sort of lightened things up for you. I tried to do it as quickly as possible, so if things aren't clear, make sure to comment down below. I'll see you next time. Peace out.